Coming up on News Live at 6, we're out here on the quad, and it smells like burgers. It's alumni weekend, and we're going to be speaking with some alumni.
What about my sophomore experience? It just kind of felt like we were being pushed aside.
Plus, SU out of Del Plaine Hall. We have their stories and how the university is responding.
And nothing is better than some restaurant food and old-time jazz. Our Walker Simmons visits a bar in Camillus that has just that. All that and more. Citrus TV News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Homecoming weekend is here, and alumni are absolutely flocking campus tonight to kick off the weekend's events. Good evening, I'm Chilekasi, Adele.
And I'm Ashley Wenskoski. If you're walking across campus, you may see some familiar faces. And we start off our coverage tonight with Citrus TV reporter John Perik, who's live on the quad right now. John, it's looking pretty packed out there.
Well, it's alumni weekend right now, but not that many alumni here on the quad, but they're certainly on campus. They will be on the quad soon as the cookout starts at 6:30, and you can smell it right now. The burgers are on the grill, the hot dogs are sizzling. But talking about alumni, we're joined here by Craig Scholl, class of 1982. Well, Craig, just being back on campus, it's been 4 decades. How does it feel?
It feels great. Just in awe of being here, and I'm excited to sort of take it all in.
Now, Craig, just walk me through. How has this campus changed since you were last here?
You know, in some cases, the names have changed. So this was UUTV when I was here, and it's CitrusTV now, right? But in other cases, it's still the quad, right? But there's some new buildings. The Shine Center is new, and I just checked out the Barn Center, which is absolutely incredible. And so I think the biggest difference is all the engagement opportunities that students have through the university is just amazing from what I've seen.
And Craig, what's on plan for the weekend?
I'm going to the Moral Clarity and Justice workshop tomorrow morning. I'm really looking forward to that. Catching up with some friends from the university, and I've really appreciated meeting some of the students. I've actually met a number of students from student organizations, and I've really appreciated the warm welcome I've received.
Well, Craig, class of 1982 here, and we're going to have continued coverage of Alumni Weekend with Juice and Java tomorrow morning. But until then, here on the quad, John Perik, Citrus TV News, guys.
John, thank you. Other events include an SU Alumni Award celebration tonight. Tomorrow, alumni can look forward to an Orange Central tailgate on the quad right before the football game against Wagner at 5 p.m. After the game, there will be an 80s and 90s alumni party, and Sunday morning, alumni can enjoy a Forever Orange brunch at the Shine Student Center.
New details tonight. An unanticipated amount of freshmen said yes to their acceptance to Syracuse University, forcing sophomores out of Del Plaine Hall. Citrus TV's Nicole Aponte joins us live from there tonight. Nicole, what can you tell us?
Ashley, Del Plaine has been a popular sophomore dorm here on the Hill in the past, and its close proximity to campus. The dining hall is right next door, and it was originally awarded to sophomores during their housing lottery last semester. But now the sophomores that Citrus TV spoke to, they feel they're reluctantly living in other dorms.
What about my sophomore experience? It just kind of felt like we were being pushed aside.
Sophomore Bianca Aguzzo is one of the hundreds of sophomores displaced in the Syracuse University housing crisis.
You can't walk to where all your other friends are. It's just it's very you feel very separated.
Bianca now lives in the University Village Apartments, about a 10-minute drive to campus. SU gave students 4 options to live: University Village Apartments, the Sheridan, the Marley Education Center, and a converted sorority house on Walnut Avenue. But Bianca doesn't understand how sophomores were the ones who got moved.
I was definitely very mad. Definitely very mad. Because like I said, it just kind of felt like they were just pushing us aside to make room for the freshmen, and that they just didn't care about us as much as they did them.
There were around 400 more freshmen on campus than usual. Still, Chancellor Ken Severwood says the university's worked hard to make the on-campus experience enjoyable.
90% of the sophomores got their first choice alternative. And while they were not all happy with the change, I do think the teams did their best to provide what our first-year students should reasonably expect while accommodating our returning students.
For Bianca, the biggest struggle about not living in walking distance to campus it's the bus system.
I've waited up to like 30 minutes for a bus to go home after class.
The university did give students something in return for being moved, but it just didn't sit right with Bianca.
$250 dining dollars for our travel, which like a lot, like I agree, and like a lot of my friends were like, that's nowhere near like enough.
Bianca has been living in her apartment for over a month now, so she's trying to look at her situation with the glass half full.
With a bad situation, I feel like we're like, me and my roommates are trying to make the best of it. It's definitely not all bad, but Adele playing.
This narrative is not just unique to Bianca's. The other second-year students we spoke with, they're expressing the exact same frustration, especially with the bus system here on the university's hill. But we'll have continued coverage of that on our socials. Citrus TV also reached out to the transportation services. We have not yet heard a response. We're live from Del Plaine Hall tonight. Nicole Aponte, Citrus TV News. Guys.
Nicole, thank you. That's a story we're going to continue following as we go along here. Next week kicks off LGBTQ+ History Month. The month provides an opportunity for the campus community to learn more about and celebrate the history, culture, and contributions of the LGBTQ+ community. Events next week include the LGBTQ+ History Month kickoff on Monday, followed by a Queer and Latinx discussion on Tuesday, a discussion on creating a safe zone on Wednesday. Later, the Resource Center is hosting a chalk and tie-dye event on the Quad on October 10th, followed by a trivia night on October 12th. You can find the full list of events on the Syracuse calendar webpage.
Also next week on campus, the Student Association is holding their fall 2022 elections. Elections will be held to determine who will serve as first-year assembly representatives. There are 30 candidates in the running for 19 seats, along with a few other seats that are open through the write-in process. Elected students will serve SA as a part of the 66th session of the student body government.
If you're in the theater, Broadway's Annie comes to Syracuse next week. Our Citrus TV reporter Zach Richter has the story.
The excitement is real. Broadway is set to come back to Syracuse beginning next week as Annie comes to town right here at the Landmark Theater. And then there's a full slate of Broadway shows such as Come From Away and Dear Evan Hansen set to take the stage over the next year.
Hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life.
The musical sensation Annie doesn't just mark the restart of the theater season here in Syracuse, it also marks the first stop on a nationwide tour. Actress Krista Curry will be playing Lily St. Regis in the production, and she could not be more excited for opening night.
Like, this is the nicest group of people you will ever find, and everyone just seems to mesh really well, and this group of children that they got is amazing. Like, this group of kids, they're all like 11 going on 35, and they are amazing. They're talented, but they also just work so freaking hard.
Tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow.
Annie's opening night is set for next Tuesday, with performances set to run every day at the Landmark through Saturday, with 2 performances scheduled for closing day. I sat down with the executive director of the Landmark Theater, Mike Intaglietta.
It's been a recent tradition for us for our season to kick off with a Broadway tech like this. So we've been obviously anticipating it for most of the summer when we're usually a little bit slow. It's great to have a show like this. This show brings a very particular energy.
You can purchase tickets for Annie online or at the Landmark Theater box office. In Syracuse, Zach Richter, Citrus TV News.
Zach, thank you. Well, sticking with the musical theme, the sound of jazz is echoing from a pub in Camillus. Citrus TV's Walker Simmons is here in studio on how the people of Camillus feel about jazz.
Well, guys, do you like jazz? Because if you asked the people at the Green Gate Pub last night, the answer would be a definite yes.
Bass, saxophone, and the trumpet. And when put together, you'll have jazz in the burbs. A local jazz concert held here at Green Gate Inn, a small pub in Camillus, New York, and since the start 5 years ago, it's becoming a hit. Curator of the event, David Casper, says it's the community that's making it so great.
These people stay. They come about an hour early and they'll stay all the way through to the end. So it's kind of the way it's set up, and I've been really happy. I've got a lot of great regulars who really want to be here, enjoy the music, and are very supportive of the musicians.
And don't just take Casper's word for it, take it from a regular, David Tiffany, who's been coming to the pub for 30 years, and he says the inclusion of jazz in the burbs has only heightened his experience.
We're much more regular. We have this table every week all winter.
Tonight, the local jazz band Electrolyte not only filled the room with unique sounds, but also the cheers of locals and newcomers. Trumpeter Paul Merrill says his love for jazz all started because of the instrument he's playing tonight.
My brother was a trumpet player, but he quit. So there's a trumpet player in my closet. I just started picking it up.
And Merrill's trumpet isn't the only thing that fills the room tonight. The community's love of jazz echoes throughout the pub tonight, brought by Electrolyte's debut at Jazz in the Burbs.
Well, after going to the concert myself, I think I have to say I'm kind of picking up the trumpet as a side hobby. Guys, what do you think?
Thanks, Walker. You know, it's an amazing thing we see over there. And if the weather was anything like it was at the beginning of this week into the weekend and for next week, you may want to stay inside and listen to some jazz.
Oh, absolutely. But things were kind of warmer out there today. It was a beautiful fall day. Citrus TV's Dylan Brendel has more.
Chile and Ashley, I've got good news for you. Today was a nice day, and that's going to be the trend going forward. I'll have more on that in just a second. But let's talk about right now. We had sun earlier. Now the clouds are here, but temperatures at 57 degrees. That's pretty nice for right now here in Syracuse. As we look around the region's doing pretty much the same thing. Syracuse at 57 is high with Elmira as well. Cortland and Penn Yan have the lows at 53. Rome, Fulton right in the middle there at 54 degrees. As we look into tonight, it's going to be a really nice night. 50 degrees, 3-mile-per-hour winds, no rain. Guys?
Dylan, thank you. Now to the latest in Syracuse. September is coming to a close, which means it's time for the spooky month of October. Fright Nights kicks off their opening weekend tonight. From their Jurassic Dark dinosaur attraction to their new Devil's Dungeon slide, the attraction offers a scary experience to people of all ages. Tickets are $30 for all 5 of their haunted houses.
Still to come on News Live at 6 tonight, streaming shift. You may be close to the dome, but if you don't have a connected device by tomorrow at 5, you may be in a pickle. The businesses that suffer as well, next.
Plus, caution rises yet again in central New York, what the CDC is recommending for CNY residents when we come back.
Welcome to my house. Everybody's pretty tired of each other. The walls were closing in. Clearly a case of too much family, too close, 24/7. If this sounds like your house, try going someplace new. YourLifeYourVoice.org. You'll find lots of ideas to help you handle the family stresses of being confined to close quarters. YourLifeYourVoice.org. It could help you find a little more breathing room.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. If you're looking to turn on the cable in your dorm or lounge to watch tomorrow's SU football game, you won't find it. The game is being streamed exclusively, and it affects bar owners as well. I spoke to one about this streaming shift. You see, Matt Beach has a great spot downtown. His joint, Ale and Angus, is next to the On Center, with SU dorms at the distance, the Dome not far away.
So you're coming off a long day at work, or you're trying to escape the kids, so you come down to the bar, grab some food and a drink, you look up and you're like, hey, where's the game?
You need the equipment, the smart TVs, the proper Wi-Fi internets, the proper devices.
Some things Beach doesn't have compared to some of the bigger, more corporate competitors. You'll miss out on screening Saturday's SU football game and numerous Yankees games due to shifts towards Amazon's Prime Video and Apple TV+. Problematic when Aaron Judge was chasing his historic 61st homer this season, something he did Wednesday.
I can't watch Thursday Night Football anymore because I don't have, Prime TV, you know what I mean? So it is frustrating, it's annoying.
It's a balancing act. Beach sees it as money-hungry TV executives wanting to extract more when he already coughs up big bucks monthly to the cable guys.
And sometimes you just got to weigh your options, like is one Thursday Night Football game worth going through the hassle to get all this?
All these sports already moving to Peacock or ESPN+++ won't be a one-off either, says one SU professor.
There's going to be a greater separation between the super premium products in sports television and all the rest.
Beach knows eventually he'll have to give in. After surviving the pandemic, he knows survival of the fittest is the only way.
You either have to adapt or you have to pivot a different direction.
Thank you, Chile, for that excellent story. And the latest tonight on COVID-19 right here in central New York. The CDC is now recommending masks in CNY for the first time in months due to a rise in COVID-19 levels.
Onondaga County is one of the 9 counties across the state classified as a high risk tonight. This coming as cases and hospitalizations rose to the highest in 4 months. Health officials say they think the number of cases are even higher due to people not getting tested.
And a Syracuse man is pleading guilty today after a fatal hit-and-run incident from last October. He now faces 1 to 4 years in prison and faces charges of running a red light as well as driving without a license. The man is known to have a criminal history. He previously was convicted of armed robbery in 2003.
This comes after the man was knocked unconscious by the victim's brother in a prior courtroom appearance. The final decision will be reached next month. Mayor Ben Walsh this morning announcing new changes to the City of Syracuse website. Changes included improvement in navigation, digital accessibility, security, and usable digital services.
In a press release this morning, Mayor Walsh saying when people visit the City of Syracuse online, they now find a website that reflects the transformation occurring in city government. The new syr.gov is more modern, better designed, and easier to use. The new site is also optimized for desktops, tablets, and mobile users.
And when we come back, I'll have your 5-day forecast. Stay with us.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Chile and Ashley were worried about the weather this upcoming week, and I'm here to tell you it's going to be excellent. We've got a nice game day weather coming up on tomorrow. Overcast skies, but temperatures in the low 60s. No real rain to be expected this weekend, so get out, do those fall activities. It's going to be an excellent weekend for that and a great start to October. As we move later in the week, the sun stays out and it gets even warmer all the way to Wednesday, 67. That's a really nice temperature. Let's take a look now, though, at Hurricane Ian going up the south. Here's the wind path that we have today. Friday, it's moving through the Carolinas and up into Virginia overnight. Let's take a look at the flood risk. Moderate risk, at least 40% in these red areas here in the middle of North Carolina, stretching into Virginia. And then these less affected areas where the flooding won't be as severe up and around in outer South Carolina and up into West Virginia as well. So a lot to monitor there. But Trey, what's coming up in sports?
Dylan, Syracuse football has an opportunity tomorrow to do something it has not done in 35 years. Some would say the Orange's opponent is an easy win, but coming up in sports, I'll tell you why Dino Babers does not think that.
Do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. Yeah, we're getting so wet. Oh,
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Tomorrow, Syracuse football can improve to 5-0 for the first time since 1987. That year, the Orange went 11-0-1. Welcome into sports. I'm Trey Redfield. Cuse takes on an FCS opponent in Wagner in less than 24 hours. Some would call this an easy win, but head coach Dino Babers details why Orange fans should fear the FCS.
And our team has to really stay locked in. I know that Tom's going to have his team ready to go. It just makes me want to think back to a similar situation when I was at an FCS school, and we went out and played a team in California that we were 21-point underdogs in 2013, and we beat them.
That win Babers talked about was when he was the head coach at Eastern Illinois, where it defeated San Diego State 40-19. So yeah, massive upsets can happen, but the FCS bug has not bit Syracuse just yet. Cuse has never lost to an FCS opponent in program history. Plus, Wagner has been losing a lot. The Seahawks have lost their last 23 games, with their last win coming in 2019 against Long Island. Find out if Syracuse can continue this skid tomorrow at 5. Orange Press Pass begins at 10 right here on OTN. Syracuse football looking to continue its winning ways tomorrow, but 4 other SU programs are looking to do that today. Ice hockey, field hockey, men's soccer, and volleyball have chances to impress, whether it's in Syracuse or along the East Coast. In ice hockey, Syracuse grabbed itself a 3-2 win over Merrimack thanks to a game winner from Lauren Bellefontaine. In field hockey, had itself a 3-0 win. 16th-ranked Orange taking down 18th-ranked Boston College thanks to a trio of fourth-quarter goals. From one pitch to another, 7th-ranked SU men's soccer just got underway at Virginia Tech. And finally, in volleyball, it's Cuse that's 2-0 on the year in ACC play, down 1-0 against Wake Forest. 62. That's been a number American League sluggers have been trying to chase for 61 years. With a home run tonight against the Orioles, Yankees outfielder Aaron Judge can reach that number and break the American League single-season home run record held by former Yankee great Roger Maris. Judge hit his 61st bomb in Toronto on Wednesday, and tonight he can break the record in front of the home crowd, just like what Maris did back in 1961. Number 99's chance to make history comes at 7:05 against the Orioles. A record chase in the AL division race in the NL. Tonight, the Mets are in Atlanta to kick off a weekend series with the Braves, and it's oh so crucial. Right now, New York has itself a one-game lead in the NL East over the Bravos, and the odds are actually in the Metropolitans' favor. The Mets have their three best pitchers starting this weekend. Jacob deGrom tonight, Chris Bassett tomorrow, and Max Scherzer on Sunday. Plus, New York called up top prospect Francisco Alvarez from the Syracuse Mets, so it's perfect timing for New York, who rodeos with Atlanta tonight at 7:20.
Trey, go Braves, go Phillies. All I gotta say. When we come back, we'll take one last look at your weather. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Live at 6. Let's take a look at your wake-up weather for tomorrow morning. 50 degrees and overcast, 4-mile-per-hour winds. A really nice morning to wake up to, and really no issues over there. No rain overnight. Guys, back to you.
Dylan, thanks. Good news tonight before we wrap up the show. American actor and WWE superstar John Cena setting a new record this week for most wishes granted through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Not 100, not 200, not even 500. He granted 650 wishes.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation helps fulfill the wishes of children who have been diagnosed with a critical illness. Nobody else has ever granted more than 200 wishes in the 42-year existence of the foundation.
Good stuff there, and that'll do it for News Live at 6 this Friday.
For more of the latest, follow us on Twitter at CitrusTV News.
Now for Trey Redfield, Dylan Brendel, and the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Chilekasi, Adele.
And I'm Ashley Wenskoski. Wake up with Walker Simmons and Josh Myers on Juice and Java tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. For now, have a great night and an even better tomorrow.